Hacked my cheating wife's phone. Divorced her. Ruined the affair partners' lives. Found her burner phone a while back. We switched internet providers, and our new modem came with an app to manage the network and connections. It was unreal how many devices we had connected to the Wi-Fi. I was playing in the app one night and noticed an Android device. We both have Apple devices. At first, I thought someone had guessed our Wi-Fi password, so I changed our passwords. But it came back a few days later. I was working from home one day and noticed the Android phone disappeared when my wife Cindy went to work. When she got home that evening, the Android device returned. I finally got a chance to look through her car and rifle through her purse, but came up empty. That night, while she was in the shower, I went through her gym bag and finally found it, tucked away in her briefcase. I didn't have time to try and look through it, so I put it back. The next time she went to the gym, I went to look through it again, but it was gone. The next night, I found it again in the briefcase. This time I took it and tried to unlock it, but none of her old passwords worked. I decided to take the phone to a repair place down the street to see if they could unlock it. I had to confess to the tech the real reason for wanting to get into the phone, as I am a lame liar, and he felt sorry for me, I guess. An hour later he called me and said he was finished. He backed everything up to a thumb drive. When I got back home, I saw all the pictures and texts between her and two different guys over the last 9 months, including graphic discussions about their hookups. 6 years of marriage, up in smoke. I thought I was having a heart attack. Couldn't breathe. Just sat there at the computer, staring at it all. I got better after an hour. Guess it was just a panic attack. When Cindy got home, she was very anxious. She wandered around the house, obviously looking for her phone. I asked if she was okay, and she said she lost some papers from work and needed to find them. I offered to help, but she said she'd find them. I got her back in the kitchen and pulled the burner phone out. "Is this what you're looking for?" There was that deer in the headlights look on her face, panic starting to rise. I said, "There could be only one reason why you would have a second phone in your briefcase. Are you cheating on me?" She denied it. I said, "Fine. Then give me the password so I can see for myself what's on it." She tried to turn it around on me, said that I was invading her privacy. I handed her back the phone and said, "Your response just proved my suspicions." I sat down on the sofa and felt the hot flash again. Started to cry a little. When she saw the tears, she softened and said it was only once, that she felt guilty about it, and cut things off. I opened up the file on my tablet, handed it to her and asked, "Only once?" She kept saying she was sorry, that it wasn't my fault, and that she wanted to stay together. I said I needed some space to think, that we needed to separate while I decided how to move forward. She disagreed and said we needed to talk it out. So I started asking questions. Married coworkers? How did you meet? Where did you hook up? What kind of sex did you have? What did you do with them that you haven't done with me? Were they bigger than me? Did you use protection? She finally said, "Enough. I can't do this anymore." She asked how long I had known. I said, "I found the phone a week ago, but I didn't see what was on it until today." I said I was still in shock and needed time to process it all. She agreed to spend the rest of the week at her sister's house and that we could talk more this weekend. She wants to schedule a session with a marriage counselor next week. I agreed to that. I didn't tell her I would be consulting an attorney tomorrow to get an idea of my options. Last Christmas, her sister got divorced after finding out her husband was having an affair. There were several family discussions about cheating at her parents' house, and how low her ex-brother-in-law was for betraying his wife. I can't imagine what was going through her mind, sitting there, being just as guilty. The thought of leaving her kills me. But I don't think I could forgive her, or ever trust her again. We had been talking about kids, but I'm so glad we were still waiting. New info, first steps on my to-do list. Attorney. Showed my text collection to my attorney. He is proceeding with the filings. He gave me a worksheet on things I need to do in the meantime. Doctor. All tests came back negative. First affair partner's wife. I met with her this afternoon. Gave her hard copies and a thumb drive. I showed her the pictures they had traded. She's not going to confront him with it until he is served. Cindy's sister, not the one she's staying with, but the one who just divorced her cheating husband. I met with her tonight and showed her my greatest hits. The more damning texts. Let her see what her sister had sent to her affair partners. She was angry. And at the same time, a little sad. She apologized to me and said she had no idea what her sister had been up to. If she had, she would have told me. I believe her. I'm sure I'll hear about her sister when Cindy comes to the house tomorrow to get some of her things. She wants to sit down and talk, probably about how we're going to move forward. This may be the last entry here on this thread. I may post a separate update later, if needed. Let's see what the community has in response to this story. Comment. Inform her sister and family of this before she has the opportunity to do damage control by accusing you of whatever she can think of. And Gray rock her while you consult an attorney and get an STD test. Yes, best of luck. OP replies, she knows the mountain of truth I'm sitting on. We had a discussion about telling lies to our families and friends before she left today. Attorney today, and seeing my doctor tomorrow. Check. Well, isn't it ironic? Upgrading your internet connection not only boosted your download speed, it also unveiled a whole new world of connections you never bargained for. Who knew your Wii upgrade would come with a side of detective work? It's like the universe decided to gift wrap a trail and deliver it straight to your modem. Next upgrade on the list. A firewall for your heart, and maybe a subscription to a free streaming service. At least you've got a solid connection with your attorney and your doctor now. Priorities, right? Update summary. I found a burner phone in my wife's briefcase. I got a phone tech to hack into it and found that, over the last 9 months, she had 2 affairs. When I confronted her with the phone, she denied having an affair. Then she said it was only once, until I showed her copies of her texts and photos they had exchanged. I told her I needed some space to process this. She has been at her sister's house all week. She wants to reconcile and go to couples therapy to help us get past this. Since she's been gone, I've decided to file for divorce. I have a lawyer working on it. Her first affair partner was married. I've reached out to his wife and shared her texts. She is currently starting divorce proceedings as well. One of Cindy's sisters recently got divorced due to her husband's infidelity. I shared everything with her too. Latest developments. Cindy came over to the house last night to get some things and to sit down and talk. She said she was sorry for hurting me. That she is still very much in love with me and wants to stay together. She insisted her affairs were never about the quality or quantity of our sex life. She even asked if I ever felt like my needs were neglected. I didn't. Our sex life was actually pretty spicy. We averaged 4 to 5 times a week, and she initiated about half the time. She said she just enjoyed experiencing sex with other people and being showered with attention. She's willing to go to therapy to find out why she desires this and how to be a better partner to me. She said she'd understand if I wanted a pass to explore or get even by dating another woman. And if I like that, we could look into having an open marriage so we could both explore together. I told her that was not something I would ever be interested in. She said she missed me and wondered if there was a chance I was ready for her to come home, even if it meant sleeping in the spare bedroom for now. I told her it still felt like too soon, and it might be better if we gave it more time. I didn't tell her that I had already filed for divorce. She should get served sometime this next week, according to my lawyer. We had a session scheduled for Wednesday for couples counseling. I'll have to cancel that. Besides the betrayal, our views on what a relationship is are miles apart. I can't even consider reconciling. Cindy was a little upset when her sister ambushed her over her affairs, but she figured it was coming. I guess her whole family knows at this point. Her parents are upset with her as well. This morning, a few of our mutual friends stopped by to check on me. They ended up trying to encourage me to give Cindy another chance and work things out. I asked how much they knew and brought them up to speed, showing them the phone and all of its contents. Needless to say, they were previously misinformed, and now embarrassed. Community response. You're modeling how to do things the right way. That's rare around here. Especially the self-respect aspect. I bet your soon-to-be ex will move in with some sucker within 6 months. Another user adds. Besides the betrayal, your views on a relationship are miles apart to even consider reconciling. Community comment. I'm sorry, but it seems like you never really knew your wife. She never revealed her true self to you. The deception is insane. Keep that ball rolling. As for your friends, well, they should never encourage you one way or the other. They should support you in the decision you make. Why would they ever believe Cindy, the lying cheater? Embarrassment warranted. OP replies. As far as why they believe Cindy, it's easy to believe someone you know when you don't know the whole truth. And she's spinning her own narrative and leaving out the facts that make her look bad. Another user responds. And this is why you need to divorce her. If she really wanted to work on things with you, she would have been open, honest, transparent, etc. But she's lying and minimizing the things she did, to you and to others. She wants to save her own behind. And when the betrayed partner stays with the cheater, it helps show everyone that it wasn't so bad. This wanting to work on things with you, it's about her, and her alone. Not you. It's about what it does for her, what she can get out of it. She wasn't, and still isn't, thinking about you. Only herself. One last community thought before we move on. Something that always amazes me is when a wayward wife gets caught but doesn't confess, and suddenly suggests therapy. They say they can change. Be better. They're willing to do anything to stay together. Where was all that enthusiasm to fix the marriage before? Before they cheated? She says her affairs were never about your sex life, but rather her need to be with others. Really? As if that's supposed to make you feel better. Like, oh, I get it. Yeah, in that case, why would I leave? Sarcasm, if it wasn't obvious. Now she wants to get back together, like that need would just disappear? OP, stay the course. She's just ridiculous. Hopefully, she will get therapy and do better in her next relationship. She's broken this one beyond repair. Another comment adds. Any so-called friends asking you to reconsider? Ask them if you can have sex with their wife, and if they'll stay with her after, so they know what they're asking of you. If they say no, then tell them to shut the F*** up. They have no idea. I like the fact that you know you deserve more, and have enough respect for yourself to walk away from someone who thinks so little of you that they would cheat, and then think you just sweep it under the rug and accept them back with open arms. And this gem. Ha! Some people. Well, Cindy's really pushing for that couples therapy, huh? It's like she's treating this whole mess like an audition for The Bachelor, Marriage Counseling Edition. She's got the drama, the multiple partners, and even a supportive audience of friends, who clearly missed the part where she cheated. Maybe she could get a therapist who specializes in, why did I think this would work after cheating 101? Meanwhile, you've already booked your ticket out of this reality show. Good call in keeping your self-respect intact, and not auditioning for her sequel. Cheating wives of Whereverville. Stay strong, OP. Update 2. Note, this edit triggered a spam bot to delete my posts. Trying one more time. You've been served. I guess the third time is a charm. It took the process server 3 attempts to serve her today. But at 2:15 p.m., Cindy was finally served, at her office. I was surprised it took her an hour to finally call me. She was upset, and I told her it was a simple power exchange. She had all the power before, and now I've taken it back. I told her that before we could talk about reconciliation, I had to be in a safe space. And that meant terminating our old relationship before we deal with anything else. I asked her. Asterisk. When did you start to cheat? Asterisk. What did you think would happen if you got caught? Asterisk. Isn't that the reason you got a second phone? She still wants to work things out. And I agreed to go to counseling with her, if for no other reason than to get answers to questions. I have. At least our insurance is paying for most of the cost of therapy. I have little desire to reconcile, but I'm just playing along until the divorce gets taken care of. Audience thoughts. It took her an hour to finally call you, huh? In that hour, she was probably communicating with her affair partner. He turned her down, so now she wants to reconcile. Play the long game, and for your best interest alone. She had no concern for you when she was cheating. OP replies. Her current affair partner couldn't afford to keep her. He's not a high earner, definitely not able to sustain the lifestyle she's always wanted. She's always wanted to stay with me. Another commenter jumps in. She's always wanted to stay with me, just words, OP. If she really wanted to stay with you, she'd give you the full truth. She'd write you a full timeline of her affair, and then agree to a polygraph to back it up. She wants to keep her lifestyle. And that's not the same as wanting you. One more perspective. OP, I was you 18 years ago. My lying, cheating ex-wife's affair partner couldn't afford her either. My ex was, and is, greedy, selfish, and materialistic. 3 months after she moved to be near him, he dumped her. She attempted to come back to me. That was a hard no. She didn't want me. She wanted her lifestyle. I wanted a partner who actually wanted me. So we were no longer going to be a couple. Stay on the divorce path. You won't get the full truth from her. Cheaters lie and they minimize. At least now she's facing the consequences of her choices, and you're reclaiming your power like a boss. Another voice, with a perfect punchline. Who knew marriage came with a tutorial on power dynamics, and divorce court as the final exam? Keep playing along with the counseling. It's like an advanced course in how to grin and bear it until the judge bangs the gavel. Confronting the affair partner, and karma. I had a bit of fun today. After work, I stopped off at a downtown restaurant and had a drink at the bar. It was before the dinner rush, pretty slow, so I was able to have a long chat with the bartender. I told him I'd recently found out that my wife had been cheating with 2 different men over the last year. I told him the first affair partner was married, and that I had met with his wife. I gave her copies of all the evidence I'd collected. She had suspected he'd been unfaithful but never found proof. She was going to use what I'd given her to take him to the cleaners, but wasn't going to confront him until the day he got served. The bartender asked about the second guy. I said, "He's single. I haven't decided what to do about him yet, but I'm a big believer in karma. And I'm not afraid to help karma out, if the need arises." He laughed and said that was a good one. I finished my drink and gave him my credit card to tab out. He froze for a second when he saw my name. He gave me my receipt. I smiled. "Give my regards to Cindy, my wife," I said. "And be seeing you, Kevin." Commenter reaction. I've never read anything more satisfying in my life. There's nothing like dropping a truth bomb with your cocktail. At least you got to enjoy your drink and serve some spicy karma, all while leaving Kevin with a frozen grin. Update. Asterisk I shared emails and pictures with the wife of affair partner number 1. She surprised him with divorce papers last week. Asterisk I confronted affair partner number 2, Kevin, at the restaurant where he works. I told him I knew everything. Told him I'd be seeing him. My favorite John Wick line. Asterisk 2 days later. Affair partner number 2 got fired from his job. Just karma. I had nothing to do with it. Swear. Asterisk I told Cindy's sister, the one who also got cheated on recently, about all of Cindy's shenanigans. Asterisk divorce papers were served to my soon-to-be ex-wife. Asterisk credit cards cancelled. Bank accounts separated at my request. Asterisk she did not attend a birthday party for one of my friends this weekend. She was also uninvited to our annual Memorial Day barbecue with the friend group. Couples counseling session, yesterday. It started with me getting ripped for costing her affair partners their marriage and job, respectively. I said, well, I had nothing to do with Kevin losing his job. But I have zero sympathy for either of them, given what they did to contribute to wrecking our marriage. Then I asked, "How do you even know all this? Have you been in contact with them?" Since we split up, she deflected and said they, her affair partners, reached out to her. I asked to see her phone to confirm that, and she refused. So I said, "I guess we're done then," and stood up to leave. Our therapist tried to smooth things over and get us talking. I asked why she cheated on me and how she met her affair partners. She gave a very well-rehearsed answer I didn't believe, and won't dignify by repeating here. But she was being very contrite, complete with tears, about wanting to reconcile and save our marriage. Of course, she wants to move back in while we work on settling our differences and fixing our relationship. Our therapist did an excellent job of being fair and not taking sides. She asked me, "What do you need to be able to move forward?" I gave her a list of 5 things. 1. A full account of the affairs, where they met, how often, all the details, with nothing held back. 2. A list of friends and relatives who knew of the affairs while they were happening. 3. Full access to her phone tonight before we leave. 4. A full apology and confession of the affair on her social media accounts, including the names of her affair partners. 5. Once the divorce is finalized, I would be willing to go to therapy with her again to see if we have a relationship left to salvage. After much back and forth, she agreed to everything, except number 3 and number 5. I conceded on number 3, access to the phone, but told her she needed to retain a lawyer and respond to divorce papers as soon as possible. I told her, "You killed the marriage when you decided to cheat, and that has to be resolved before we can even begin to move forward." This afternoon, she posted her apology/confession to her social media accounts, complete with the affair partners tagged. I haven't heard from her since our session, so I don't know about the other items yet. However, I did get word that her attorney had reached out to mine to arrange a meeting for next week. Final update. We met with the lawyers earlier this week, and I was pleased with the settlement, for the most part. She agreed to give me the house in exchange for me assuming $111,000 in credit card debt. I had originally told her that if we had to sell the house, I would be moving to another city, and reconciliation would definitely be off the table. As part of the agreement, I did have to commit to 3 more couples counseling sessions, under the pretense of working on having an open relationship. She wants to move back in soon, but I said I needed more time with my personal therapist before I'd be comfortable with that. All that matters is, she signed the settlement agreement. And after a short waiting period, the divorce will be final. Thanks to everyone for your support and advice. This will be my final update. Once the divorce is final, I will follow one suggestion. Let her read all these posts, and realize the player got played. Ah, the sweet symphony of karma. Divorce papers delivered like a surprise pizza. Job terminations served like a cold dish of revenge. Social media confessions sprinkled with a dash of vindication. I love when everyone gets what's coming to them. Cheers to turning life's lemons into a lemon-scented disaster zone. Do you have a similar story? An epic, shaken-not-stirred cocktail moment of revenge or revelation? Share it with us in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you next time.